For over 60 years, the WWE Championship has been the most coveted prize in sports entertainment. Held by legends, fought over in stadiums across the globe, and used as the ultimate measure of greatness, this title has produced some of the most iconic matches in wrestling history. Today, we're counting down the top 10 WWE title matches of all time. From technical masterclasses to emotional epics, from underdog stories to brutal brawls, these are the matches that defined eras. Number 10. John Cena vs. Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 23. Some say Cena's greatest rival wasn't Orton or Edge, it was HBK. At WrestleMania 23, they wrestled for nearly 30 minutes in a main event that stole the show. Cena held his own with the best in-ring performer of all time. HBK pushed him, tested him, punished him, but Cena wouldn't quit. He locked in the STF and made Michaels tap in front of 80,000 people. Respect, emotion, perfection, a passing of the torch match that showed Cena truly belonged among the elite. Number 9. Brock Lesnar vs. The Undertaker, No Mercy 2000 to Hell in a Cell. Before Suplex City and streaks being broken, Brock Lesnar was the youngest WWE champion in history. In only his rookie year, he faced The Undertaker in one of the most gruesome Hell in a Cell matches ever. There was no escape, just brutality. Lesnar took an absolute beating, busted open, thrown into steel, but he survived, endured, and dominated. After an F5, he climbed the cell, raised the title, and proved to the world that he was no fluke. This match is often overlooked, but true fans know it was career-making. Number 8. Bret Hart vs. Owen Hart, SummerSlam 1994 Steel Cage. Sibling rivalries don't get more real than this. Owen Hart had already beaten Bret at WrestleMania X, but now it was for the big one inside a 15-foot steel cage. This match was a pure wrestling masterpiece. Counters, chain wrestling, psychology, it was like watching two grandmasters play chess in real time. Both tried desperately to escape, leading to some of the most dramatic cage sequences ever. In the end, Bret outlasted his brother, but Owen looked just as good in defeat. A classic in every sense of the word. Number 7. AJ Styles vs. John Cena, Royal Rumble 2017, The Phenomenal One vs. The Franchise. This wasn't just a great match, it was a generational clash. AJ Styles had taken WWE by storm since arriving in 2016. Cena had nothing left to prove except he wasn't done. The chemistry between these two was off the charts. Reversals, psychology, high-impact moves, it was perfection in motion. Cena dug deep, hit multiple A's, and finally pinned Styles to win his record-tying 16th world title. After the bell, Cena handed the title to a child in the crowd, a symbol of what legacy looks like. This was one of the cleanest, most technically brilliant title matches WWE has ever produced. Number 6. Kofi Kingston vs. Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 35. It started as a movement. A groundswell of support from fans who saw something special in Kofi Kingston, someone who had been overlooked for over a decade. Daniel Bryan, the eco-warrior heel, mocked Kofi as just another B-plus player, a cruel callback to Bryan's own rise years earlier. At WrestleMania 35, with millions watching, Kofi stepped into history. The crowd at MetLife Stadium was electric, living and breathing every near fall. After one final Trouble in Paradise, Kofi pinned Bryan clean and became the first African-born WWE champion. The celebration with his children, the New Day, and the fans was pure magic. A feel-good moment that transcended wrestling. This was about representation, perseverance, and legacy. Number 5. Eddie Guerrero vs. Brock Lesnar, No Way Out 2004. If you want to talk about emotion in wrestling, look no further than this match. Brock Lesnar was the unstoppable force, the youngest and most dominant WWE champion at the time. Eddie Guerrero, the underdog. The addict who recovered, the man who wasn't supposed to make it. But on this night in San Francisco, Eddie had the people behind him. The match was intense and hard-hitting, with Lesnar using his power and Eddie relying on heart, ring IQ, and resilience. In the final moments, a well-timed DDT onto the title belt and a perfectly executed frog splash gave Eddie the 1-3. The crowd erupted. Eddie's victory was more than a title win, it was redemption. Viva la Raza forever. Number 4. Daniel Bryan vs. Batista vs. Randy Orton, WrestleMania 30. If Kofi Mania was magical, the Yes Movement was revolutionary. Daniel Bryan was never the company's chosen one, but the fans chose him. And they never stopped chanting, never stopped pushing. At WrestleMania 30, he had to defeat Triple H earlier in the night just to earn his way into the main event. Then, exhausted and injured, he faced two monsters in Batista and Randy Orton. But Bryan fought back. He survived an RKO Batista bomb combo. He endured chair shots and triple threats. And when he locked in the yes lock on Batista and made him tap out, the Superdome exploded. Hands raised, tears falling, Bryan stood as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. A victory not just for him, but for every fan who believed. Number 3, CM Punk vs. John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011, Chicago. July 17, 2011. The WWE Universe had never seen anything quite like it. CM Punk's contract was up, and he promised to leave WWE with the championship. Vince McMahon tried to stop it. John Cena tried to stop it. But in front of his hometown crowd, Punk delivered a performance of a lifetime. The match itself was a clinic slow build, psychological warfare, counters, and pure drama. The energy in the arena was molten. When Punk hit the GTS and escaped through the crowd with the WWE title blowing a kiss to Vince, it wasn't just a win. It was a cultural shift. This match helped launch the reality era and cemented Punk's legacy. Number 2, The Rock vs. Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 17. This was the main event of the greatest WrestleMania ever. The Rock, Stone Cold, title on the line, to babyfaces, to megastars, to icons clashing at the peak of the Attitude Era. It was gritty, violent, and fast-paced. The crowd didn't sit for 30 minutes, and then, the turn. Austin aligned with Vince McMahon to win. Shocking, iconic, unthinkable. Love it or hate it, it was unforgettable. A match that ended one era and started another. Number 1, Roman Reigns vs. Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 40. This was 2 years in the making. After falling short at WrestleMania 39, Cody Rhodes refused to let go of his destiny. He promised to finish the story, to win the championship his father, Dusty Rhodes, never held. Roman Reigns had reigned supreme for over 1,300 days, conquering every challenger. Backed by the Bloodline and Paul Heyman, he was untouchable. But in Philadelphia, at WrestleMania 40, everything changed. The crowd willed Cody forward. Spears were kicked out of. Crossroads weren't enough until one final flurry, followed by a deafening 3 count, ended Roman's reign. The pop was unreal. The story was finished. Cody stood tall, emotional, draped in gold and legacy fulfilled. It wasn't just a match, it was a moment that will live forever. Those were the top 10 WWE Championship matches of all time. Each match told a different story, but all shared one thing: greatness. Which title match would you add to this list? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because we're bringing you the best of WWE every single week. This is WWE Rundown, and we'll see you in the next video.